And as soon as I came here, I found the atmosphere is completely different from Beirut. During the Lebanese civil war, part of Tripoli became front line of the conflict, especially between Sunni groups and the Arabic community. So this is kind of sign of Lebanese economic crisis back in 2019. So Lebanese funds lost 90% of its value. So we trust the bank. We put their saving here bank, years of work, entirely the store behind the wall. Imagine one day the door didn't open the same way anymore. When you walk the street, you will probably see the most of the trash bins being full of the trash without being collected properly. In practice, Lebanon no longer fully provide like public services. So, are you okay? Sure?
Yeah, you want? I want to...
Troubles.
No, man, no!
No safety.
No, amen.
Limada.
دولة.
So, as you see, they are obviously close to each other, but they are divided clearly. In recent years, clash happened between these neighborhoods.
Breaking news on this special edition of What You Need to Know. Attack on Iran. The US and Israel launching a wide-scale assault on Tehran. Plumes of smoke seen rising in the country.
As you can hear, the air raid sirens have now started here in Tel Aviv.
Is having an impact in the Middle East and beyond.
Oh my God!
And also other countries in the Middle East where the US has a presence. And it's not just hitting military targets. Luxury hotels, shopping malls, airports, oil installations, and apartment buildings have also been damaged.
And scenes across Lebanon. Rescuers work through the night to try to find survivors under rubble. Few, if any, come out alive. No one expected strikes in such areas of Beirut, which have been outside the conflict.
Every headline made the Middle East sounds like a place you stay away from. I was heading toward it in the middle of rising tensions. I am moving through the region by land. I wanted to see what people are doing while all of that was happening. Welcome to Tripoli, Lebanon's second largest city. As you know, before coming to Tripoli, something crazy happened in Beirut. I mentioned I was arrested and detained for several days. I will explain what actually happened and what it felt like on my Patreon page, because they are just part of this story and I can't fully share this. But for now, let me just keep moving north. And as soon as I came here, I found the atmosphere is completely different from Beirut. In Beirut, even during crisis, there's still a sense of movements, nightlife, restaurants, part of city that continue to function. Here, that layer is much thinner. Tripoli has long been one of the most neglected cities in the country. Even before the finance crisis back in 2019, infrastructures, investments, and state presence were directly limited. During the Lebanese civil war, part of Tripoli became front line of the conflict, especially between Sunni groups and the Arabic community. Those tensions didn't fully disappear even after the war until now. Even in recent years, clashes have been happening between these neighborhoods, although it's mostly quiet, but the divisions still exist between east and southwest. As you know, since March 2026, as tensions between Iran and Israel have escalated. The effects are not always visible here in Tripoli. There are no daily airstrikes in this city, but the pressure still arrives through rising prices, fuel shortage, and people moving north away from areas close to the conflict. Tripoli absorbs these pressures without the resources to manage them. In the area where I'm standing had been affected by civil war. As you see, some of the buildings behind me has drill point mark. So my first impression here in Tripoli is that the city is more conservative than Beirut, where French influence is quite dominant. Tripoli is predominantly Sunni Muslim, and that identifies visible in daily life. At the same time, there's a strong sense of decay, old buildings, aging cars, infrastructure that hasn't been fully maintained. And another thing that stands out is the number of posters, faces, symbol, messages covering buildings and streets. These are not just decoration. In Lebanon, political identity is often visible in public areas. Posters represent leaders, functions, religious figures, and sometimes people who are killed in past conflict, especially in places like Tripoli, where the state's presence is limited. These symbols become a way of marking influence and belonging. So you see this building right here used to be a bank currently. It looks like abandoned. So this is kind of sign of Lebanese economic crisis back in 2019. So Lebanese bonds lost 90% of its value. So we trust the bank. We put their saving here bank, years of work, entirely store behind the wall. Imagine one day the door didn't open the same way anymore. The money was still here on paper, but in reality it was gone. You see dozens of handwriting on the wall, date, some messages, anger is all written in Arabic language. These are all the people's frustrations, like what happened to our money, this is our right, God is watching, something like that. You know, that's a kind of sad situation.
Because we have corruption in Lebanon before, so the people they make revolution and they strike it.
It's very bad.
Bad situation. You're from where?
From Japan.
Oh, Japan.
So did you save some money in the bank?
The people who save really money in the bank, they lost it.
You
No,
lost?
no,
Oh, you didn't.
because I'm in police.
Are you police?
Yeah, policeman.
Okay.
I say my gun is there. So we don't have deposit in the bank. We always withdraw money. But the people who saving, like they have business and they put the money in the bank, they totally lost it. Yeah.
So sorry.
Japan is really nice. My wife is from Philippines.
For people
Yeah,
close,
Asia.
very close.
Asia. So you're here alone for vacation?
Yeah. How's everything
Here?
in Tripoli?
In Tripoli there's nothing. It's safe. But it's safe in the morning, but I prefer not to go at night alone and holding this stuff.
Camera.
Yeah, exactly. You don't know.
money.
Exactly. You have to watch out for yourself. If you're walking here, it's safe, but if you go abandoned place, it's not safe at all.
So there are some.
Maybe somebody will steal your
Pickpockets.
money, your phone. Don't walk holding your phone like this on the street. You know. Okay. Just take care. You can visit a lot of places here.
Yeah, I've been to a lot of places.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, I wish you good luck.
Thank you so much.
عروسي يا حبيب قلبي الله معك يا عمي
So I just come to the place where the trash seems to be dumped. See the some trash piles across the road. When you walk the street, you will probably see the most of the trash bins being full of the trash without being collected properly, and it's more outstanding here in Tripoli. So as I explained, in practice, Lebanon no longer fully provide like public services such as basic, infrastructure things like gas, electricity, and the trash collecting as well. Despite its beauty, Lebanon is quite sad. Make the country looks worse. So I just came across like random local guy who just stopped me and they offer me his ride, the motorcycle. Hey,
Welcome to Lebanon.
shukran. What's your name?
Rahim.
Rahim.
Yes.
Okay. So, are you okay? Sure?
Yeah, you want?
Yeah, it's very small
Very good.
space.
Yeah. I want to.
I want to.
No, don't worry.
Hassan, حبيبي. شفته والله على الطريقة اللي بده يروح على المينا.
Okay. How's your life?
كيف الحياة عم يقول لك؟
كيف حياتك في
سيء.
صبرك?
Bad.
No good.
Why?
No good.
لماذا?
There is no money.
No money.
No money, no فلوس.
35.
No فلوس.
No زواج. No.
He wants to get married but he doesn't have money.
مش متزوجين يعني ما في متعة بالحياة.
أنا آسف. How is the safety in Tabadrus here?
شو يعني؟
Tripoli.
سمع أغري
بيقول لك كيف الأمان هون بطرابلس.
No man, no.
No safety.
No أمن.
لماذا?
لماذا؟
دولة.
Israel?
Shouting everywhere. Shouting.
شليحة كلها.
Why?
بلطجية. كيف بدك تعمل؟
ما بعرف اقول له هيدي بالانجلش كمان ما بقولها.
أغاني ميوزك.
Music.
وين يا رابع؟
ايه عم بيقول انه رقص او غني.
أنا نو غني صوتي خارج.
نو سينج.
لا مشكلة.
أنا يسمع أغاني.
طيب أنت ما اسمك؟ محمد. أنت؟
عمر.
أحمد. طيب اسمي تاك.
تاك.
ياباني.
I love you تاك. I love you.
شكرا جزيلا. أنا أيضا. حبيبي.
تاك.
اوكي تشرفت بيك برو. حبيبي. مع السلامة.
يروح الزلمه بيصور يا زلمه.
So just come to the Tripoli port. Too far, you see, like it seems like cargo shipping as well as smaller boats, because this port is strategically quite important place where Lebanon can trade. This is like really important trading spot for our Lebanese. very calm and coastal, contrast with the hardship that I saw in inner city. For the past few years, Lebanon has been totally torn apart by unprecedented events that caused the country to have a significant bad effect on their tourism sector. Despite all of their situation hardship, Lebanese people are remarkably nice to me, and they have a strong endurance, much enough to, adapt all of the situation. So I just come to one of the most historical landmarks here in Tripoli, which is a citadel located in the highest point of the city. And you see the river running in between the area on the hill and the other. And this is actually where the division exists. As explained in Tripoli, there are two different group of people are settling. The one is Arawi, who mostly settle on the hill, and the other Sunni, the other side. So as you see, they are obviously close to each other, but they are divided clearly. In recent years, clash happened between this neighborhood, and unfortunately those tensions didn't fully disappear after the war. As I entered into Citadel, I found it was highly militarized. It's because the Citadel overlook the whole city, so they can monitor the situation just in case, I believe. So I just met a nice local guy and some lovely kids. Hello, hello, hello.
عمره 10 7 هذا عمره 5
أنا
ده عمره
عمري 7
هذا انت ده عمره
3
Ok.
4 عمره 66
66. Tu parles français?
شباب
Ou
فرنسي
القليل عرفنا شو
Ah, ok. D'accord. حسنا.
ويلكم تتربولي. اهلا وسهلا شرفتونا وجيتوا عند الشيخ ولقيتونا.
كيف حالكم في تريبولي، لبنان؟
الحمد لله رب العالمين، نحن بخير الحمد لله. أنتم كيف حالكم في اليابان؟ جيد جدا.
شو الله.
أهلا وسهلا. نطلب من السياح يجوا لعنا.
هل تريبولي آمنة؟
تريبولي آمنة؟ أكيد آمنة. طول ما عنا الجيش اللبناني بوليس وطول ما عنا نحن عنا هون انه شعب طيب وطرابلس كتير آمنة. أهلا وسهلا بالجميع. من وين ما جيت؟ تاكي. أنت؟
طه.
ماذا تفعل الآن؟ أنت تعمل
شيشة.
جيد جدا جيد.
وأنت وين كنت بالقلعة فوق سيتاديل؟
نعم.
تشرب شيشة؟
لا شكرا.
لو تشرب قهوة؟ كوفي؟
كفا.
خذ.
شكرا. Yeah, they offer me free coffee.
باي باي.
جيد جدا. اوكي. مع السلامة. أتمنى لك شو سعيدا.
باي باي تيكا.
باي باي.
مع السلامة.
باي. السلام.
So I just come to the place called Bathroom, which is known as the most tourist place here in Lebanon. And as soon as I arrived here, I found the whole city is almost completely empty because of the situation right now. I was actually supposed to stay the night here in Bathroom, and I asked someone if there's any hotel nearby, but they say mostly they are full of refugees who displaced from other regions. They don't have service at this moment for tourists, so it's like quite unoccasional situation. Coming from Tripoli, you will see the huge contrast here in Beirut. On the surface it feels really calm, the sea is quiet, and the whole district of Beirut is more like Europe, unlike chaotic and old Tripoli. This is still the same country, a country dealing with economic crisis, political divisions and conflict. Lebanon isn't defined by one reality, it exists in layers, uncertainty, continuity. What you see depends on what you stand, and that contradiction is what defines Lebanon. Lebanon potentially could have been the best places on earth in terms of tourism, I swear, but it's a shame, the situation ruined everything. Just met lovely ladies just right in front of the church?
Yes,
Cathedral.
it's a church.
So, what are you guys doing? Just chilling out?
Just chilling, we hang out as friends.
Okay. So I want to ask you some questions, like what's like living in Lebanon during this situation, and has the war affect Beirut as well, or you feel like safe over here?
Actually, we feel kind of safe, but it's a kind of a conflict in you. You feel safe, but you also feel for your country, your people, all
Yes.
that. Like you.
So, can you explain like your
Okay.
friends?
Yes, we're a
what's
group of
their
friends.
religions? Yeah.
She is Muslim Shia.
Okay.
She's Muslim Sunnah. I'm Christian Orthodox, and she's Christian Catholic.
So you guys believe all different
Yeah.
gods or
Yeah.
different religion?
Yeah.
Wow, that's quite interesting.
Yeah, like religion isn't the thing that makes a person a person.
Wow.
So we can get past that and live like
So
our friendship
diverse.
from the spirit of the friendship, not to the
Exactly.
person as a person.
Amazing. Wow. So, are you guys originally from Batum or any other
Yes.
places?
I'm from Batum. Batum. I keep on Batum.
Batum.
Batum. We're Batum.
Okay. How's the Batum? I
It's
think
great.
Baton could have been the best place in Lebanon. It's not as a very tourist place, but I think now is this
For the
given
past years,
situation, yeah.
for the past years, it's been very touristic actually.
Yeah.
It's been called like the touristic city of the Arab world. We have a lot of people coming in, but it's very funny. Like you meet a lot of people, different cultures, Lebanese coming from everywhere, foreigners and all that. It's very funny. You make a lot of friends. They go, we stay.
I think now it's completely empty because of the situation with this.
Yes, but also it's like winter, so that's
Yeah,
more.
that's not,
Yeah.
it's winter.
And we had schools today, so on the weekend it's more like populated.
Cloudy.
Yeah.